Another way that we want to equip pastors is we want to equip them to preach both engagement with the government, generally speaking, to their congregation, and to preach on issues. As a pastor, I can also understand that when we deal with politics in the congregation, there are nuances involved. I understand that. I pastored a church for almost 10 years, and I had the whole political spectrum in my church, and I had to be very wise about how I address certain issues. But probably the worst thing a pastor can do is decide not to address issues at all. Because a lot of us just believe that politics is downstream of culture. In other words, let's just deal with culture. Let's just share our faith message and hope that eventually that will trickle down into politics. While that does happen, and of course we do need to attack culture and address culture, we also need to realize that politics sometimes is upstream of culture, that politics does affect culture. And I can think of no better case for this than Roe v. Wade. Back in 1972, a decision was made that now has affected this American culture in awful and impactful ways. Now, almost 58 million babies later, we have lost a whole generation because of politics affecting our culture. And to realize that, yes, we want to influence culture, but we also want to influence politics. It really is a both and not an either or. I can guarantee you, as a pastor myself, the church, the people, they want to hear from the pulpit on the issues of the day. I will never forget the day that as a pastor I preached after the Supreme Court handed down the decision on gay marriage. Although it did have controversial moments, although there were people who were not always happy with me all the time, the fact is they were waiting to hear from the pastor. What is my pastor going to say on this issue? I can guarantee that your people, they want to hear what you think about the issues of the day. They're seeing it all over in social media. They're talking about it at work. They're talking about it at school. The people want to hear from you on the issues, and we want to equip you to preach on them with wisdom, with grace, with truth, with clarity, with compassion.